Sup peeps, my name's Ian, I sell books on eBay. It's going to be a shorter one today, you'll be glad to hear. Firstly, I've got to get out very soon, so I don't have a lot of time. Secondly, I've only got like 12 orders, so it's been a quiet day. I have found that when I make these videos regularly, my eBay sales just die. I don't know what the correlation is between those two things, but it happens time and time again. It's very, very strange. Anyway, I'm going to keep making them because it gives me something to do for 20 minutes in the morning, doesn't it? So let's say a dozen orders, only about 95 quid. So a really, really slow day compared to what I've had recently, but still some sales that are a wee bit different. Something to show you. And the first one is a Cassandra Clare. Doesn't sell often, doesn't Cassandra, but they do sell. This one went for £5.99, so it's a bit of a beast, but £5.99, I'm still going to make some money on it. So that's order number one. Order number two is, let's just see if I can find it on the screen here. Yes, it's the ones that were directly below that, funnily enough. We've got two educational books, bit of higher maths, sorry, not 5, not higher, not 5 maths. So a how to pass book and some past papers, and the two of them went for £4.87. So again, these are not big sales, but sales they are. Sold one of these just the other day, and here's another one. Katsu Ishiguro, £3.85 for a little paperback there. See, his books are popular. They don't sell for a lot of money, but they do tend to sell reasonably quickly. For me, I find. Next one is a pre-made bundle. Kate Furnival. I don't know how you say that name. Anyway, a set of 5 paperbacks. Historical, romantic type fiction, I believe. That's what they look like. You get the idea. £14.99 for the 5 of those, which is alright. Now this next one went for £6.99, and it's a lovely tatty old copy of The Babysitter by R.L. Stine. This condition made very clear on the packaging, so I hope that whoever has bought it is good with that. Let's say £6.99 for The Babysitter by Mr. Stein. And then I've been trying different things with the DVDs. You know, a lot of DVDs, they don't sell for an awful lot by themselves, but there's certain ways you can bundle things up and make a little bit of money on them. So we've got the Batman trilogy, Dark Knight. So Batman Begins, Dark Knight, The Dark Knight Rises, and the 3 of them, £5.99, just sold as that bundle. So that seems to have sold a couple of those. That seems to be okay. Let's say pennies. The most I ever pay for a DVD is like 10 pence. So I think I got them out of my big bulk buy, so they were even cheaper. But even if that had cost 30p into £5.99, you know, it's a couple of quid, a no-brainer from that point of view. And then we've got another bundle. We do like bundles, don't we? Yes, Ian, we love bundles. £13.69 for 5 Ian Rankin books, wee hardcover, and then 4 paperbacks. Where are they heading to? Going down south. So I say £13.69, Ian Rankin. He's not selling fast, but he keeps selling. Happy with that? Yes, I am. See, not big sales today though. Next, we've got another DVD, well, a set of DVDs. Stargate Season 2. Again, picked up in my big DVD haul, so pennies into it, and that's sold for £8.99. So that's quite good. If you can pick up these box sets cheap, then they're worth selling. I know a lot of the shops round about me, Their DVDs will be 10 for £1, and then they'll have a box set and they'll stick a £5 on it, which means it's not worth picking up. But there's the odd exception you managed to grab, and that was one of them. Next, we've got another book on its own, £3.80. Again, not a big sale, but there's always profit, and it's Bowie by David Buckley. Let's see, £3.80. What you going to do? Followed by a 2-book bundle, £8.86 for these two, and it's a couple of JD Kirks. I found he's really popular. Somebody I've never really heard of until fairly recently. Oh, wee sticker on the back of that one I missed. Let's take that off. But yeah, £8.86 for the two of those. So yeah, take money where you can get it, don't you? But JD Kirk, one to keep your eyes open for, does seem to go quite well. Pretty popular. Couple more to go. We've got a Just William box set, tenner. I had it listed for I think £12.99. Somebody made me an offer, so I took the offer. £10, and that is heading off to Thomas. Yeah, tenner, no postage, just a straight £10 on that one. Below the 2 kilos, so that works out. I was concerned once I accepted the offer. I thought, okay, wait a minute, maybe that was priced up because it was heavy, but no, that's not the case. One last sale to show you today. This went for £6.99, and it's Jaroslav Hasek, The Good Soldier Svek. I don't know how it's, you can work out yourself how all of that gets pronounced, but just a Penguin Classics paperback, £6.99. So the Penguin Classics books, they do quite well. I still keep picking them up wherever and whenever I see them, because they sell, and if something sells, you might as well be the one to sell it. That's what I always say. So I'm just moving these back over so I'm ready to pack them all up, which I shall do in a moment. Comments yesterday and watching it back myself, yeah, I remember now why I stopped doing these videos whilst I was packing the stuff, because the noise is horrendous, man. So I'm going to try very hard to avoid doing that moving forward. It's a time issue, you know. If I can do 2 things at once, that's great, but got to consider the flip side of all of that. There was something else I wanted to show you today, and for the life of me I cannot remember what it was. No, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. A couple of questions and comments on videos from the last few days, since I've been putting these up again fairly regularly. Sourcing comes up oft. Somebody asking, you know, with such low profit margins, do I rely on getting free books? No, I buy everything that I've got. I don't get anything for free. I always go out and pay. Where do I source? For the 99% of it at the moment, it's charity shops. That's where the majority comes from. I go to charity shops and I buy their books. I'm very lucky that around here I've got a few shops that sell them pretty cheap. There's also more shops which sell them at that kind of £1.50, £2, £3, £4, £5 a book, which aren't really worth going into too often for pickups. But I do still go into them, because every now and again you'll find something where they're wanting a couple of quid, but you know there's more value in it. A good example of that is, you see them, the Richard Osman books. Right, I'm always piling these up. They're just paperbacks, but the hardcovers, there's the most recent of the Thursday Murder Club books. I can get near enough, what, about 18-20 quid for a set of 4 of these books. So you can pick up the first 3 in the cheaper shops fairly often, which is quite good. And when I've got 3, so at the moment I've got the green, the purple and the red. There's more reds and more greens over there. If I go into one of these other shops and they're looking for £2 for the blue, I'm going to buy it, because I've paid, 25 pence ish for the first 3. If I pay a couple of quid to make up a set, it still costs me less than £3 for that set, and I can sell it for around about £20. So it makes it well worthwhile. So yeah, charity shops to get the books. Where they're more expensive, I will have a look when I'm there. I don't go out of my way to go, but when I'm there, I will go in and have a wee look. And sometimes they've got bits and pieces that you know are going to sell reasonably well, reasonably quickly, and that you will still make a profit on. So if you pay a couple of quid for a book and you can sell it for a tenner, that's fine. You're going to double your money on that. You know, once you've paid your postage and your fees, you'll get 3 or 4 quid back. So if you've spent £2, that's all to the good. And you do occasionally find even better titles, as you do anywhere you go. You know, always look everywhere you can, no matter what it is you're selling, because you will find stuff that has been missed by the shop is, you know, a good price that you know you can get a return on. And not everything sells the same for everybody. So just because I have luck selling them at 20 quid, maybe somebody else doesn't. Maybe somebody can get even more for them. Just depends on, you know, your customer base and all of these things. But yeah, charity shops for the books. How do I get so many books? It took a while, and it's still taking time to build that. But persistence, keep going in and keep buying. So if you find some places, several places where the prices are right for what you want to do, you go in and you buy as much as you can. I end up with, you know, always got a few hundred books that I'm not really that fussed about getting listed, because I know they're going to be slow. I know I'm not going to make very much money on them. But when I'm going into these places and building that relationship, first thing I want is for curiosity to be piqued. So why am I buying so many books? Some people go in and perhaps be a wee bit, you know, reticent about talking about what they're doing, why they're buying stuff. You know, why have you just bought 10 pairs of jeans or whatever it might be? But I'm always quite open about that. You know, I've got an online bookstore. If I can buy them from you guys for this price, I can usually make the same amount again in profit when I sell them on. So that works for me. And by talking to people about what you do and buying bulk as often as possible, don't pick up a dozen books. Pick up 50 books, pick up 100, pick up 200, pick up 300. The more you do that, if they have, you know, a whole load of stock through the back, then that makes it more likely that they're going to bring that out for you. If you become regular, go on regular days at regular times to these places, get to know the people who are there at that time, so they can expect you, which works for me in quite a few places. You know, there's certain days of the week, at certain times of the day, where I go to particular places and they're expecting me at that time. So they will be, oh, Ian, the book guy's coming in. We've got this couple of boxes. Do you want to have a look through them? Yeah, great, thanks very much. And as soon as that happens, I take as much as I can. I could really cherry pick and just, you know, go through they put out a couple of hundred books for me to have a run through, and I could pick out maybe a dozen that are going to make me good money and leave the rest. But if I do that, then what's the point in them bringing out those 200 books? I'll try and take all 200 if I can. There's certain things that I know there's absolutely no point in picking up. They can pass them on to the ragman, but by taking what you can, they're more inclined to give you what they can, because it's a quick and easy turnaround for them to get more money, especially if it's stuff that's going to end up going to the rag, and they will happily help you find what you can do. Not everybody, but you know, I've found that most places are quite willing to do what they can if what you're doing helps them. I know I've seen a couple of guys who go into the places that I go into looking for things other than books, to be honest, you know, like vinyl or whatever, and it's always that, oh, can we go in and have a wee look? And there's a couple of them do go and they spend like an hour or two digging through, and they come away with 5 things and pay them like 3 or 4 quid. So it's not really worth anybody's while giving somebody preferential treatment to make 5 quid. But if I go in, place I'm going to this afternoon, I try and spend £100 at least, and it, you know, kind of 25-30 pence a book. That's a lot of books. but I will take as much as I can, which is bad because you end up with piles and piles of stuff waiting to be listed that you don't actually have time to do all the time. But it's good in that it lets you do a wee bit of experimentation. For example, thrillers by authors I have never heard of. For a long time I just wouldn't have touched it because I didn't know what to do with it. But all of a sudden, picking up as much as I can, you find a wee bundle of, J.D. Kirk is a perfect example, found a bundle of them. When I got back, have a wee look at them, see what they actually sell for, and funnily enough, they all sell regularly for a few quid each. So again, it's not big profit, but it's definitely there and worth doing. And you find all sorts of authors doing it that way, by picking up as much as you can. And it won't be a case of going straight in and straight away suddenly getting access to, you know, hundreds of books of stock or whatever it is that you're picking up every time that you go, but it will build and you will get more. One place I go to actually now advertises asking for donations of books because they know I'll take the vast majority of them, which is great. I mean, they'll go out on their shelves anyway, but they know that I'm going to come in, and instead of selling a few books a week, I could go in and take 50, 60, 100 from them at any given time. So they do that, and that's helped drive what they are doing. If you're not selling books, which most people don't, let's be honest, because it's a pain in the backside and it doesn't make you a lot of money. I know there are a couple of the bigger stores near me, and not just talking about wee local charity shops, but big chains as well, and the volume of donations they're getting means that they have tons going to the rag constantly. So there will be stuff in there that's getting missed through the sorting. So whether it's clothes, tech, books, there's opportunities the same, but you need to, you know, make it clear what it is that you can do for them without being a smarmy salesman about it. Not a lot of people like that approach. There's no point being pushy. If the opportunity is going to exist, it will exist from a polite ask. Or if you don't even like asking, you follow that tactic, you buy as much as you can, you talk to the people about what you're doing, and you may well just get the offer. It has happened to me completely out of the blue. Wasn't expecting it, didn't think it would be the kind of shop that had what I was looking for. But, oh, you've bought a lot of books the last few weeks. What is it you do? You tell them what it is you do. Well, we've got a whole load more just at the back door there. Do you want me to bring them through for you? Fine, so lift some boxes through, and whoa, a big stack of books. Now that's not a regular pickup that I'm able to do because they don't get a lot in all the time, but because they had them there, the offer was there. Whenever I'm past that, I do pop in, usually about once a fortnight, and every now and again it's like, oh, I'm glad you're here because we have just had, and the same thing works again. Now, I'm not getting these at any kind of, you know, stupid cut price or anything. I pay the retail price of what they would be selling them for on their shelves. So it's not like, you know, setting stuff off at rag and somebody's paying, you know, pennies per kilo for all of these books. I will pay them what they would sell them for if they were out on the shop floor, if they, you know, had been sorted and they'd done all the processing, so they're still getting the same value out of it. Nobody's getting cheated, nobody's pulling a fast one, and yeah, it's been a great way to work. So that, sourcing wise, for me at the moment, charity shops 99% of the time. Get the odd wee other thing here and there, but it really is charity shops for the most part. I am looking to expand on that, but cash flow just needs to be a wee bit better before we go down that route and start buying collections and such like. Yeah, and that's how to source books and probably a lot of other stuff if you've niched down and you're trying to expand and scale your business that way. If you sell absolutely everything, then it's maybe not, but maybe less likely that somebody say, oh, well, we've got a whole load of donations through the back, do you want me to bring them all out for you to look at? That's probably not going to happen. But if you were selling, say, just jeans, and they had a load of jeans coming in, then it might be possible that somebody could say, oh, I'll bring this lot out and you can have a wee dig through it. We've not put it out, we've not processed it and put it out yet, but see if there's anything you fancy. I don't know, that might work. I've never done it with clothing or anything like that. It has just been books, but I know a lot of places have bags and bags of rag, and there's bound to be stuff in there that you can pick up and sell for a profit. Unlikely to be like high value stuff. You know, you're going and, oh, there's 5 pairs of jeans, I'll give you 20 quid for them and go and sell them for £500. You're unlikely to get that. That's the kind of stuff that they will more often than not spot and get out on the shop floor. But if it's stuff that you can, you know, pick up in bulk that way and they'll all make you a tenner, that's great, because it means you can get an awful lot more at one time and, you know, do better profit rather than maybe 2 items out on the shop floor. There might be 5 or 6 items that they've got just waiting to go out, that if you've, you know, played your cards right, if you're doing well with them, you could well get certain items more. And maybe if you buy in bulk, you will get a wee bit of a discount. Who knows? I don't know. You need to go out and find out. But yeah, the ask is really important, but politely. You know, none of us are entitled to anything. These are businesses trying to raise money for, you know, particular causes. So yeah, play the game right and you will play the game well and you'll do well out of it. Anyway, I've spoken for an awful lot longer than I intended to, because I do have to get these things packed and get out the house. So I'm going to go and do that now. The rest of you, have a fantastic day, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow.